What is World Practitioners Scientific Reporting Mentorship Program. My name is Dr. Yannick Poli, and I will be your guest for the next 10 minutes. Like you, I'm an NSA practitioner, and I practice every day, helping my patients increase their quality of life and develop new neurological strategies to better face the demands of our daily lives. I'm also an associate editor at the Journal of Verbal Subluxation Research. In the next few minutes, I would like to present to you how you can become more actively involved in NSA-related research. Donald Epstein and other leaders in our great network family have been committed right from the beginning to do research about our approach. You're probably familiar with the study that was published in 1997, the retrospective study, looking at more than 2,800 patients undergoing network care that showed great association between our care and improved quality of life. There has been some follow-up on that study that's been published in other peer-reviewed scientific journals, such as the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine, a 2-part article on wellness lifestyle. That kind of research is huge research involving thousands of patients and taking hundreds, if not thousands of hours to develop, and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Today I'm not going to talk about that kind of research, but I want to let you know how you, as a practitioner, can participate more actively in research. What is interesting, if we look at all the studies that have been published on network spinal analysis so far, if we don't count poster presentation made at research conferences, there's been 14 studies published in peer-reviewed scientific journals. And what is interesting is that 12 of those studies have been published in the Journal of Verbal Subluxation Research. For those of you that are not familiar with that journal, the Journal of Verbal Subluxation Research is a peer-reviewed scientific journal within the chiropractic community, and it has quite some big names on his editorial board. The first one is Dr. Matt McCoy, who is the editor. But also on the editorial board is Dr. Bob Blanks, who participated and designed the first network study. We also have Dr. Christopher Kent, which is a world-renowned leader in our profession. We also have the Harrisons, Don and Dee Harrison, which are not friends of network, but that doesn't prevent us to submit studies to that journal and get published. Also on the editorial board is Candace Pert, the author of Molecule of Emotions, Dr. William Boone, who was early on associated with research on network, Dr. Joel Alcantara, who is head of research for the ICPA, International Chiropractic Pediatrics Association, Dr. Ed Owens, who is involved in research at Palmer, and I also have a very handsome young man, me, as a joke, of course. So, how did I get involved in research as a NSA practitioner? Well, it all started in 1998 when another chiropractic practitioner and NSA practitioner, Dr. Madeleine Berendt, published a case report on the great benefits one of her patients had undergoing network care. And at that time, it made quite a fuss in the subluxation-centered chiropractic community because Dr. Berendt was the first practitioner to really step up to the plate and take some time to report on her case in a scientifically formatted manner. So when I read her case, I thought, wow, this is great, but I can do the same. If she can, so can I. So this is what I did. I started writing my own case report. It took me a while because, as everything, it's a new language and there's some hoops you have to go through, a process that you have to learn. But by the end, in 2006, I had my first case study published on a report on quality of life improvement on a patient that underwent network care analysis, network spinal analysis, and other type of care. Once you start understanding the language of research, it becomes easier. And my next step was to publish actually a small before and after study on the great changes that patients underwent as far as their concentration and attentional abilities after receiving 2 months of network care. If I'm showing you those articles, it's not to brag about myself, but to put you in the same shoes that I was when I read Dr. Barron's report, meaning I want you to feel that, wow, if that guy can do it, so can I. What's the benefit of publishing? Because if you're going to spend time writing up a case report, for example, then you need to have some benefits out of it. Well, first of all, it's about telling the world about it. We all have those great cases, but usually they're in our files taking the dust somewhere. When it gets published, it gets out in the public. It's also increased credibility and reputation for yourself, because you become a perceived expert. And when your local media will be looking at some information, if it's on the topic that you've written about, they will be contacting you, like I'll be sharing with you a little bit later. It's also free publicity for our profession. After a case report, Dr. Barron committed to have other chiropractors write a case report on infertility. And she came up with 16 cases. Those cases were put out there in the media, and it's estimated that our profession got about $4 million of free publicity based on our 16 case reports. Of course, when it's published, it's also a great tool for marketing and referral for yourself. Just to give you an idea, this is a case report, or press release rather, that was sent after my last study on chiropractic and ADHD in adults. Actually, one chiropractic neurologist in Florida made a press release out of it, sent it, and had a great piece taken by his local news media and television. This is an example that was after another study I had published on chiropractic and dyslexia, and our local newspapers in Switzerland, we got 2 of those newspapers do a full page on the work we're doing. So it's definitely worth it. So this is our project. We have a special issue of the journal Verbal Subluxation Research on network spanal analysis. This is no small deal. Network spanal analysis will be the first approach to have its own issue in a scientific peer-reviewed journal. How exciting is that? So we already have people committed to do it. In the loop, we have a theoretical paper on reorganizational healing. We'll have a retrospective study on the effects of network on surface EMG pattern. We also have a SRI practitioner reports on the benefits of SRI in children with special needs, especially speech pathology. We also have an Australian doctor reporting on the effects of NSA care on infertility. We also have a young patient who is attending now chiropractic college to be able to practice as a network practitioner, reporting on the impact of NSA care in a poor responder to stress. We also have reports on the effects of NSA care on the neurological organization in elite volleyball players. We'll also be looking at, does NSA care allow for self-regulation of verbal subluxation? We all know it does, but if it's not published, it doesn't exist. And we also have reports that will be looking at the impact of NSA care on posterior sway and fall risk in elderly people. So are you ready to step up to the plate? This is what you have to do. You go to the following post on the website and you follow our 7 steps to writing up a great case report. All those steps will explain you exactly how to do it. It's easy. Plus, our mentoring process includes for free case report writing tutorial and case study examples that you'll be able to download directly from this site. Free consulting and assistance for all the projects. If you want to do something else than a case report but you don't really know how to set it up, contact me. It'll be a pleasure to help you develop a methodology for it. And as well, free mentoring through the whole writing and submission process. So basically the first step that you do, you contact me. The information is below this post here, how to get in contact with me. You contact me, let me know you are interested, and I will assist you in any way, shape, or form I can through the whole process of writing up and submitting your case to the JVSR. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'll be looking to hear from you to develop this great project together. If you have any questions, just send me an email at ypauli@jvsr.com, or you can call me at 0041-21-646-5238. This is in Switzerland, so keep in mind I'm +6 hours Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, and talk to you soon.